Everyone. I am Marcy Novis-Levine. I'm going to talk to you a few minutes about resilience and bouncing back, getting back up after you've gone through hell in a handbasket, right? And so many of us have gone through so many different things and a lot of adversity. But you know what? You can change it. You can turn it around. And if I can do this, so can you. Life can bring us a lot of different experiences. And sometimes we can look at it as being, something that is horrific, or it could be something that's a catalyst to move us to the next phase of our life, right? And like I said, there's going to be times in our life where we think, "Oh my gosh, I'm done. I'm over. I need to just like give it up and lay down." No, no. Don't do that, because your life matters and you matter and your purpose matters, and your purpose doesn't have to be your job. Okay. Your purpose can actually be something else you're doing outside your job. I mean, maybe you're doing a philanthropy business, or you're doing, something that is the higher good of humanity, or something that is really making a difference in the world, or you're starting a movement against anti-bullying and abuse, anything that is something that is profound like that. It doesn't have to be your job. It doesn't have to be what earn a living at. What you earn a living at is something that, you do. But I mean, if you find something you really, really love and you can make money doing it, then that's a win-win too. But our brain is so resilient, and we have the resilience of, more than you can possibly imagine, right? And I know I've gone through my share of bullies and mean people and harassment and everything, but so has other people too. And I'm still alive and kicking. And that's why I'm on here wanting to talk to you about something that's very important to me. When you have a message and you have something that is very profound, you don't just keep it quiet, right? Because there's a lot of people out there that want you to just shut up and lay down, right? But you don't want to do that, because you know that your story can help other people. And with me, I went through a lot of things in the last couple years. I actually lost my place I was living, and then I was living in another place, and then it got hit by the hurricane. And then I went to live with some family, and they were not very kind, and I had some issues there. And then, I still had no place to live, and I'm trying to find a place to live. And then I came to stay with, somewhere else. And, it's just been one thing after another. But you know what? Thank God I am still here, right? Yes, I'm grateful for that. And I have my little fur babies here, and I'm moving forward. It's like when people walk away from you and they're not in your corner anymore, it makes you very resilient on knowing that you can do this no matter who is there for you. It's easier if you have friends and family and people that want to help you and serve you. But if you don't, guess what? That's okay too, because you can do it. Because, our brain is so wired to either move forward or stay stuck. And sometimes we stay stuck because we don't have either the direction, or we don't have people in our corner. And that's good. It makes us resilient, but we still have to have people in our corner. It's very, very important. And that's what I'm going to talk to you a few minutes today about brain health, and how the holistic brain health, right? And resilience, bouncing back from adversity, and just using some simple lifestyle changes. And, it's not warm and fuzzy. It's not, rainbows and unicorns, but, so many people have gone through a lot of things. And we just have to know that if you trust in God, I don't know if you believe in God, the universe, or whatever, but I believe if it wasn't for God, I wouldn't be here today. I talk to God every single day and thank him for my life. Thank him for giving me another day on this planet. And so I could help more and do more and be more. And in the meantime, I am doing what I can to help people online. It may not be, you know, big things that I'm doing right now at this very moment, but it will be. Sometimes when things are taken away from you and there's nothing you could do. And sometimes when you're put in public humiliation, there's nothing you could do then too, because you are maybe you're in a situation that it's just about timing, and you have to heal the body and heal the mind, and then you will be the most bombastic person that you're meant to be. I know you can do it, because if I can do it, you can do it, right? And there's no excuses. It may take a little bit longer. You may have some setbacks here and there, but don't ever quit. Don't ever quit on yourself. Don't quit on the person you're becoming, because you're becoming this amazing, wonderful human. Okay. This human that wants to connect with other humans, that wants to be a social butterfly and not isolate all by yourself, because isolation is the worst thing ever. A little bit of time by yourself is good, but when you're isolated 24/7, 7 days a week, it'll start driving you absolutely crazy unless you really love it. But most people that I know, they need a little bit of human interaction, okay? And a little bit of stimulation from other people, because talking to people and socializing with people, so important in this lifetime. And if somebody is isolating you, whether it is a job, or if it is, something, a relationship or an organization or anything, then that's the type of abuse. Okay. So remember that if you want to get out and about and you're being isolated 24/7, then, you need to figure out a way out all the way, right? Because, that's not healthy. It's not healthy for anyone. So with that said, you want to heal your brain. You want to heal. If you're being isolated, if you're isolated because you're trying to heal and get healthier, it's okay, but you still need to be out and about once in a while around people. Unless you have COVID, then stay home. Or if you have something contagious, stay home. You know, Resilience really does matter, especially today. Today, in this day and age, everybody's going through something. Chronic stress, all the digital stimulation, social disconnection. Our brains are navigating a world that has never been before. This is so new to everyone. And the last couple years, it's just been really getting a lot more intense. Our ability to focus, our attention span, everything has really plummeted because of the social media and also all the stimulation from our devices. So, but resilience can go beyond adversity and maintain stability. And it's an active process, and it really adaptive stress exposure and intentional lifestyle choices. So you really have to make sure that you're taking care of your body and your mind, and also being in the right environment. The wrong environment is going to destroy you. The right environment is going to excel you. So, this whole presentation is just about how to get yourself back up and keep going and don't quit, even though when you have adversity and you have things that knock you down. Because, I spent 8 years of school, okay? Many, many years of school. And I'm not even working in the public health field that I actually went to school for. But I'm wanting to help people as much as I can in mind, body health and brain health, and just becoming a healthier version of themselves after they've gone through trauma or any type of adversity. I mean, it could be a divorce, it could be a loss of a job, or it could be assault, or it could be bullying, or it could be abuse. Whatever it is. I want I want people to know that you can overcome. You can overcome. The brain is so plastic, and that's why it's called neuroplasticity. What helps you change your brain and how you think. And so, first of all, the body connection, nutrition, exercise, and physical health is the foundation. It is really the foundation of everything. And also connection. You have to have connection with other people. You cannot just be, a lone ranger all the time. It's impossible to thrive in a place where you are totally isolated for days and weeks and months and years on end. Okay. So you have to have the environment that supports you, spaces that are healthy. That if you're healing, you need to be in a healing place. You can't be in a job that is making you even more unwell. Okay. So you just have to know the lifestyle changes you need to do to actually heal the brain, right? Because it is possible. So the foundation of our brain, it's so interesting because you can have all kinds of memory issues thinking that you're getting Alzheimer's or dementia or any type of cognitive dysfunction. And it could be that your campus and your amygdala is shrinking because you've been under so much stress. And it does get smaller when you are going through compounded events. Compounded events, I'm talking about like first, you have a couple dogs die and then you're homeless and then you don't have any money. You got in a bad business venture, you had somebody take advantage of you, all these things. Say you had all these things happen to you, right? And it starts breaking down our brain and it really plays huge havoc on our thought process and our memory and also our executive functioning, which means we have a harder time making decisions. Even though, say, we're a CEO of a big company and we can't make huge decisions. We have to ask our assistant all the time because, we've gone through stress and stress and stress. So, it's okay to not be okay sometimes, right? And you just have to know that you can't get over this. You just have to have the right people surrounding you, social connection, the connection you have with other people make a huge difference in how you relate to everyday stress and everyday challenges because interaction is energy and energy is what creates flow in your body, your blood flow, your brain flow, everything. So you need that energy. So, our brain is so complex, especially how the networks work, and there's different circuits in our brain and it's all related to where our environment. I mean, a lot of it could be genetic, but it's also related to environment. Environment plays a huge role on your brain and your social interaction with people. So just make sure you're socializing with the right people, not with people that are negative Nellies or, people that aren't very warm and fuzzy and complain and. But the science of resilience, bouncing back stronger, which means you can have emotional resilience, the ability to regulate your emotions and maintain optimism and also find meaning during difficult times. When you're going through a really hard time, it's hard to think, what's my purpose? Sorry, I just lost my house and I'm broke and now I got to figure out what I'm doing next. And, my relationship left and everything. It's hard to think about purpose right then and there. You have to look at it as a catalyst, a learning experience, and a way to move forward. Yes, forward, that's what it's about. So you also need to have cognitive resilience, right? Which is mental flexibility and just knowing that you can solve the problems. If you have the problem solving skills, you can adapt to the thinking problems, right? And psychological resilience, which means physical health, stress response, and biological recovery is possible. You can do this. It may not be easy, but you can do it. Sometimes life can bring us some really crazy stuff, but our brain is so resilient. So, there's a lot of different factors on healing the brain. Nutrition for brain health. Oh my gosh, nutrition is like so profound. I have a whole program on eating healthy for your brain and recovering by, different foods and antioxidants and, B vitamins and omega 3s and all kinds of things, polyphenols, everything that is actually going to help the body, right? And like I said before, physical exercise, if you don't feel like exercising, do it anyways. Go walk. Go walk. If you don't feel like going to the gym, go walk. Do some weight training, even if it's just some light weights. Do training every day, and balance and coordination like Tai Chi or yoga or any type of, thing like that is very, very helpful for the brain. Sleep, that's a big one, right? We all need good sleep, right? Oh my gosh, sleep is so important. If we have good sleep in our body, then then we can do anything, right? We have to have good sleep, at least 6 to 8 hours of sleep a night. A lot of people do less than that. They are on a, 4 hour a night thing, but it all depends on your body. But I would not say to get any less than 5 hours of sleep every single night, because when you're sleeping, what's really going on is your brain is taking a shower. It's washing out all the toxins. Everything is being washed out. Everything, everything, everything. So that is the whole thing about sleep. So just remember that is very, very crucial for your health, right? So mindfulness and meditation. We all need to have some mindfulness, meditation, and some mental clarity, and just you can meditate like 15 minutes a day or just, a half an hour a day, whatever it is. But, if you feel like you really need to meditate more, then it's something you don't have to, go buy or anything. You can just do it, if you're out and about somewhere. You can do meditation walking. That's what I like to do sometimes. When I'm walking, I do meditation, and it's really amazing for the brain. And social connection, like I talk about every slide, the difference between people who have less social connection start having cognitive decline. They have more depression, and they have a higher risk of mortality, higher risk of dying. So just remember that when you want to be isolated and be by yourself all the time, because that's not good. So, I'm not going to go into everything about, the whole bounce back, but I am going to tell you I have so much information to share with you guys because, if I can go through the adversity I went through and so many different things, so many things. I was hit by a gasoline tanker truck and I went back to work, right? It was on my lunch hour. Okay. It was on my lunch hour and I was hit by a gasoline tanker truck. And what happened was, sorry about that. What happened was I was hit by a gasoline tanker truck, went back to work, okay? And then the next day, what happened was, I do apologize. The next day, what happened was I was running on adrenaline for 24 hours. And so the next day, I got up in the morning and got ready to go to work, and my whole body hurt. Oh my gosh, it hurt so bad. My entire body hurt from head to toe, right? And I was like, "Oh, I guess I should go to the doctor." So, at this time I was going through a divorce on top of everything else, right? So I had to go to the doctor, drive myself to the doctor, and I got there and found out I had a couple cracked rib, and then I had a fractured spine. And so you know, our adrenaline stays on high alert when we're going through a big trauma. And then when things slow down a little bit, we release and then we start having the physical pain and the mental health challenges. And that happens to a lot of us, right? So, needless to say, I had surgery and overcame that. That was like 20 something years ago. and that's it's okay because, I know the good Lord has kept me healthy and as much as possible. I mean, I've had some other issues here and there, but it's okay because I know in my heart that I have the resilience, and so can you. You can have resilience. You can move forward. You can do whatever, ever you want to do. Because if I got this, so do you. And we can do this together. We don't have to work as an island. And that's why I want to offer you my program. And it is a 6-week program on resilience and healing your mind, body, and your soul. And just knowing that you can do this. And I have awesome, really, really great stuff involved in this whole program. And if you are interested, please message me because I would love, love, love to have you in my program. And with that said, sorry about my doggies barking, but I don't have an office right now. I'm in transition. So things are working out, though. They're going to work out. So next time I will have a quiet place to do a presentation. So with that said, I love you guys. Take care and know that you got this. If I got this, you got this. God bless. Don't let anyone make you feel less than. Don't let anyone bring you down because you matter and your life matters and you're important. God bless.